Week 7 high school football brings us to John Wall Field on the campus of the Prairie Hawks. It's Prairie at 6-0 against the Little Hawks of Iowa City at 5-1. Good evening and welcome. I'm Rob Brooks, and what a showdown we have for you tonight. The Prairie Hawks come into this game undefeated, ranked number 4th in the state, and they look to Adam Reitzel. He is their outstanding running back. He's rushed for 800 yards, and that's going to be the conservative attack that Coach Craig Jelinek will look to win this ball game. For City High, really more of a balanced attack. They have D.P. Iman as the quarterback, one of the tops in the conference. He has thrown for almost 500 yards this season, and also the running game is very sound as well, as Phil Kinney is the 5th leading rusher in the conference at 800 yards so far. So it'll be the wide open offense of City High. Can they get it done in this brisk, windy conditions here at John Wall Field versus the conservative running attack, grinded out style of the Prairie Hawks? Two contrasting styles. It ought to be a great game. 5-1 City High and 6-0 Prairie. We'll kick it off next.
Have it here or have it there. 5 Seasons Motorsports. Get a new way.
Welcome back to John Wall Field. I'm Rob Brooks, joined now in the broadcast booth with Mark Nolan, and it's fireworks, and we expect them on the field, Mark, but a little preview right there.
Well, it's fireworks tonight here. Probably the best game in the state tonight is 2 top 10 teams. This should be an excellent matchup, and Prairie with the home field advantage. And beginning of the season, who thought Prairie would be 6-0 at this point, ranked 4th in the state? And City High, we have seen them so far this season here on Mediacom, and I'm very surprised that they lost to West, because City High looked like really the class of the conference. And indeed, they can clinch their division if they win tonight. Prairie tied, should have a dogfight on their hands, but this is an excellent Prairie football team. Should be a well of a game. And how about those fireworks? How about those fireworks? This is quite a show out here.
6-0, ranked number 4 in the state of Iowa. The Prairie Hawks take the field.
I'll say they take the field.
Like the opening of a rock concert.
What is heated press box, Rob? It's kind of cold down there in the field. They put on quite a show here at Prairie. This is fun. Well, we've had lots of fun this year getting away from Kingston. Kingston's kind of boring compared to some of these places we've been this season, isn't it, Rob? Nice to go on the road. The Mediacom truck rolls all over town.
Well, it's nice to get to a lot of different places and meet a lot of great folks that really love high school football around eastern Iowa. And one thing, Mark, that you mentioned that is really true about Iowa City High, and the fact a lot of expectations coming into this season, and the fact that they did lose in the Battle of the Boot to Iowa City West. That's the one thing that some of the City High fans were concerned about tonight. What was going to be the playing conditions, because that had a lot to do with shutting down the Little Hawk attack. West, a running team, got an early turnover in that game and really had the momentum the entire game. But if you can open it up, throw and pass, the Little Hawks have a lot of weapons.
They're a very explosive team, and that they should be okay tonight. The wind will probably be a factor. Other than that, it is cold, but hey, it's October, it's football season. It's good playing conditions other than possibly the wind.
And City High will be able to throw the ball with the wind. It is whipping down there at about 20 to 25 miles an hour, will gust to 30. City High recovered from that loss to West with a 28-21 victory over Linn-Mar last week, and again in that game overcoming some costly turnovers, and certainly ready for the challenge here tonight against number 4 ranked Prairie. As we talked about in the open, the Little Hawks are going to face a team that really loves to run the football, conservative, excellent special teams and defense.
Both have excellent running backs and good quarterbacks too. I mean, if you say Prairie's basically a running team, but they can mix it up. Very talented skill players, and this should be a great matchup, Rob.
They do. They can throw it when they need to, but in knowing Craig Jelinek really likes to grind it out, control the clock, and play as conservative as possible. But they're against a team tonight in Little Hawks that is averaging 33 points a game. And we are underway at Prairie. And a deep kick with the wind into the end zone, so the Hawks will have it at 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
I think the wind may be a factor, Rob. That wasn't in the end zone. It was out of the end zone on the fly. So clearly that wind whipping from the north to the south. Field position is going to be a factor.
So Prairie has only thrown for 522 yards, but they've rushed for 1,116.
And Reitzel with nearly 1,000 yards on the season to go with his 10 touchdowns.
We'll see him a lot tonight. And he picks his way through the middle as Adam Reitzel gets the first carry of the night and will get about 5.
Been bothered this week by a bit of a sore foot as Reitzel, so we'll see if that hampers his performance tonight at all. Hasn't practiced. Usually their punter in him. Hasn't practiced punting all week.
So Adam comes into this game 850 yards. A big night would put him over 1,000 for the year. Very experienced team. Craig Jelinek played a lot of juniors a year ago, and this is the give to the fullback. Not much there for Josh Sherrard, and City High controlled the line of scrimmage. There you get a look at the Little Hawk defense. So 3rd and 3.
Here you talk about Coach Jelinek playing all his juniors last year. This Prairie team is just the result of typical Jelinek Prairie football, staying with the system, and just a good solid football team.
Flare pass to Stump, and nothing doing there as the Little Hawks read that as Alberhaski, along with Dorian Davis, the leading receiver, playing some defense for the Little Hawks in a gang tackle situation, and that brings up 4th and 9, and the Little Hawks will have to boot it. There's Craig Jelinek. But an excellent job he has done over the years here at Prairie, and has his team ranked number 4 in the state. It took them 4 weeks to get into the top 10. They were 3-0 before. That punch you can see right into the wind, but Prairie gets a pretty good bounce out of it and will down it just inside the 45.
I'd say that's an excellent result in this wind, but still, all of a sudden City High just 5 yards from midfield on their opening possession, and you know they are so explosive they could bite off big chunks of yardage anytime. You hate to just give them half the field to go for their first touchdown on their opening drive. So that field position, a big factor.
Come on, boys!
DP Iman is the quarterback for the Little Hawks. Phil Kinney is their leading ground gainer, and here is the keeper. Iman, a big hole out of shotgun, gets to the 43.
Iman dangerous through the air and also dangerous on the ground.
Covington in on the tackle for Iowa City High. 1,048 yards rushing this year, 780 through the air, averaging just over 300 yards per outing. They go no huddle. That's what they've normally done. Iman takes off, gets a couple of blocks, and is brought down after a gain of 4. Robbie Kramer, 6'2" junior, makes the tackle, and our first penalty marker is been thrown, or has it, Mark?
No, I think that
Okay.
put back in his pocket. They're right back in that no huddle.
So give Iman a gain of 2.
Kind of a different look here. Iman out of the shotgun and runs the ball on the first 2 plays. Kind of got this Prairie defense a little off balance. Now he's going to go through the air. Good coverage by the Hawks, and he's nailed. Gets right back to the line of scrimmage, but not much time there, and excellent work by the Prairie D-backs.
And
Musil made the stop, and that's going to be a loss of probably 1 and bring up 3rd down and long for City High. Hyman looked like he wanted to go deep on a fade route.
Nowhere to go, though. I think probably a pretty good decision by Hyman. He didn't force it, and they managed to get almost back line of scrimmage. There he releases too high.
Intended receiver was Ben Evans, 6-foot wide receiver, and Hyman again under pressure by Prairie, and we'll see what the Little Hawks will do here. They'll probably punt it away and try to pin Prairie deep. DP Hyman is also the punter for City High.
Averaging about 36 yards a punt.
Right, return left.
This will be Glenn Fox as he fair catches the ball at the 17.
I think Greg Jelink's got to be happy with his defense after that stand. They limited just to that first big play on the first down, and after that they got pretty aggressive and contained City High and got the ball back.
Put a good rush on it on 2nd and 3rd down. Second possession for the Prairie Hawks. Joe Cooper is the signal caller. Gives it to Reitzel. There's a big hole for him. Breaks 1 tackle. Dorian Davis finally pushes him out of bounds. Flags come out. Might be a face mask or a late hit after Reitzel gets a gain of 17 out to the 32.
Huge hole there on the left side of the line, and Reitzel just pounded right through it, exploded, and then the face mask will tack on another 15. See if we check this, see the face mask at the big of that huge hole. And yep, right there's the face mask before he was tossed out of bounds and the hankies went flying. And I guess they're not going to be 15, not the flagrant, just the 5-yard.
Yeah, just look at it grazed the face mask of Adam Reitzel.
Well, wait a minute. Here we go. They're calling a personal foul. And it's out near midfield, out to the 48. So
that will be the full 15 and bring up 1st and 10 after the Little Hawks give up their first down of the game.
So much for Hyman's punt here. Then now the Prairie's right back to midfield, and what a turnaround.
Ball on the 48. Cooper sends Stumpf in motion. Reitzel, huge hole left side. Gets to about the 42.
Same play, same hole, and it was just as wide. That left side of that Prairie Hawk line just doing an excellent job of blocking it. Reitzel not showing any effects of that sore foot. Whole different look from Prairie here on this series than their first possession.
One thing, you get to week 7 and you're going to have some nicks and bumps and bruises, and especially when you're 6-0, fight through that. A couple of great runs by Adam Reitzel, the 2nd leading rusher in the conference. He'll get another carry and try the right side. Explodes through the middle down to the 35.
Another big hole on the right side. So this offensive line got fired up on this possession, and I think they've figured something out here.
Albert Haskey and Mitchell in on the stop for the Little Hawks. Looking for their 2nd consecutive victory after that loss to Iowa City West.
This drive's perfect for Prairie into the wind. City High's got the wind, but they're not able to use it. The clock just keeps ticking away, and Prairie's just marching downfield, and only 7 minutes left in the first quarter here. Getting the second quarter, it's going to take away City High's passing attack.
Reitzel tries to bounce off a couple of players, maybe gets 2. Tackled from behind by Josh Keppel. Greg Jelinek has really taken more of the play calling duties over this year for Prairie, and he has really put his stamp on this running attack. As you look at Dan Sabers, the head coach of the Little Hawks, both these teams just about in the playoffs. Probably one more win would do it. Reitzel tries to spin his way down to the 30-yard line and stop short of that. Dorian Davis in on the stop.
I believe, Rob, the winner of this game will qualify for the playoffs. A win by City High clinches their division.
Right. And they need one more win.
So the City High defense stiffens here after giving up some big running plays by Prairie, and now it's 3rd and a long 7. So big play here for Prairie. Oh, he jumped. There's a freebie. Great job by Joe Cooper. I think he drew him offside there with the cadence.
So that'll be 3rd and just a couple. So a completely different look here.
That's more like it for Prairie. 3rd and 2. Reitzel ought to be able to pick that up, no problem.
This drive started back at the Prairie 16, aided by a 15-yard face mask penalty on City High, and Adam Reitzel with some huge runs.
Boy, how big a play is that by Joe Cooper if he indeed did draw that offside? That could be the key to the drive here.
Experienced senior quarterback for you. Surrounded by a lot of 2-year starters. Reitzel.
He's not going to get it. He's not going to get there.
Wasn't much up the middle, and it looks like he's going to be stopped short.
So you're at the 26-yard line, Rob. Here, now it's not 4th and 2. It's 4th and maybe 1. They're going to go for it.
Davis and Pat Griffin on the stop for City High.
With this wind, it'd be a 40-yard field goal, and that's just not doable. I don't think they're going to.
Not when I was down on the field, boy. There's no way you want to attempt a 40-yard field goal. I wouldn't think in this. And takes time out with 4:30 left to go in the first. Craig Jelinek wanting to take a look at things and get the right play called, Mark, because you're right. This drive has been textbook for Prairie. Important to get a lead in this game. And if you can do it when you're going into the wind, you get the wind in the 2nd and the 4th quarter, that would be a huge thing for the Prairie Hawks.
Excellent timeout. Good strategic call. That's what they're for. Let's get this right. We got 4th and actually not a very good spot. It is closer to 4th and 2. It's 4th and 1.5, but you just don't want any mistakes here. And this could be a really, really big play. So I think a very, very well called timeout by Jelinek, and we'll see what they come up with here. They've had more success on the left side. They went right side that time with Reitzel, but you just know Reitzel's going to get the ball here. He's going to get the call. City High's defense on the sideline for most of that timeout. Now Prairie right up to the line. So let's see how this unfolds.
Need about 2. Reitzel, huge hole up the middle, explodes to the 26-yard line. No doubt about that. The Prairie offensive line blows a huge hole, a gain of 4 as Pat Griffin made the stop.
They just went right over the center and the left guard, and great blocking up front. And I just question City High's defense on the sidelines till that timeout was almost expired, and Prairie right up to the line, and they were ready to go, and City High's kind of running around. So that was a key first down, and good timeout by Jelinek. Great cadence move to pick up that penalty by Cooper, and here's Reitzel.
Almost gets into the end zone, drags a couple of Little Hawks with him down to the 2. That may have been his hardest run of the night.
Well, he is tough. Another big hole in the left side. Look at him there, just bang. Breaks that tackle and carries this would-be tackler just manages to keep him out of the end zone. He carried him 5 yards.
Almost took Alex Smith right into the end zone with him. This drive, 84 yards, entirely on the ground, and the Hawks get on the scoreboard. Adam Reitzel from a couple yards out.
Touchdown number 11 on the season. I don't think anybody else touched the ball on that drive. Cooper picked up the 5 yards to go from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2, but that was all Reitzel the whole drive.
And he'll attempt the extra point. Puts it right through, and with 3:40 left to go in the first, the Prairie Hawks strike first. Reitzel kicks it away, and it is taken by Phil Kinney up to about the 28. Kinney, the leading ground gainer for the Little Hawks, needs to try to get this offense in gear for the second go-round for the Little Hawk offense.
Excellent coverage there by the Prairie kickoff team. Kinney took that ball outside of his 15-yard line, and really Prairie did a great job of containing him. You see what impact that wind is having, as Reitzel could only get the ball not even to the 15 on the kickoff.
Well, the special teams of Prairie have been outstanding the entire year. Against Waller, when the Golden Eagles were undefeated, the special teams returned a punt for a touchdown. So it has been a point of emphasis, and usually is with successful teams. Against West High, the Hawks intercepted a pass as well, recovered a fumble for a touchdown. So turnover margin has been in the Prairie Hawks' favor. So after a 5-yard walk-off against City High, there's nothing there for Phil Kinney as he tried the left side. Brian Fiala led the charge for Prairie. Penalties really hurt the Little Hawks against West a couple of weeks ago, and they haven't done themselves any favors here tonight with 3 minutes left to go in the first. A wild pass by Hyman as he tried to get out to Dorian Davis. Davis just kind of shrugs his shoulders. Hey, there's no way I can catch that one.
And Davis was covered too. I mean, great coverage out there by Prairie. City just doesn't look sharp at all.
This is kind of like the start they got off to against West. The Little Hawks took the opening kickoff, immediately fumbled, and about 4 plays later, West was up 7-0. This time it was an 84-yard drive, and Little Hawks take off, and another penalty will be upcoming.
That's the 4th penalty already this quarter, Rob, on City High.
The second here, and they've ran 2 plays.
Had the 2 procedure penalties, the face mask, and the key offsides where Reitzel drew off, turned 3rd and 7 into 3rd and 2 with that cadence. So, I mean, look in the mirror, City High, if you're wondering why it's not working so far. A lot of game left, though. And a fine team, just kind of a shaky start.
And Dan Savers immediately calls timeout just to try to calm his offense a little bit. Notice that the 2 penalties, everybody's not on the same page. And it brings up 3rd and 20. The high school football game of the week is base 3rd and 20. Hyman tries to take off, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get out of the tackle of the right side of the Prairie defensive line that did a good job staying home, and Little Hawks are just going to have to boot this one away.
John McCarthy, 34 on the stop there. I mean, that just I don't know if that was a busted play or not, Rob, but Lyman kind of running a fake. Oh, almost blocked.
Almost did it again, but Lyman gets a real nice bounce out of this one, and the ball will rest at the 31. Paul Jansen almost got his hands on the football, and we talked about the Prairie special teams, and boy, they almost blocked the punt to Lyman, who really did a good job getting it away. It looked like
it was Jansen who almost blocked the punt. It was Jansen that sacked Lyman on the previous play, and boy, City got very fortunate there with an awful punt by Lyman, and just got an incredible roll. But Prairie's defense again up to the task, and they just shut down this explosive City High team on both of their possessions, and now they've got the ball with only 2 minutes left while City High's had the win.
Little Hawks only had 1 first down in that series. Just couldn't get anything done because of the penalty, and the hanky comes out again.
Man! 2-hole!
That seemed to be a pretty late flag, Rob. I don't have any idea what this is, although they're talking to City High's defense. Not much of a gain for Prairie.
You know what it is, sir?
It's going to be a walk-off against the Little Hawks.
It's against Prairie.
Excuse me, against Prairie, and it's going to be a hold.
It is.
That'll take it back to the 21. There you saw the grab by Prairie. Bring up 1st and 20.
City, I kind of thought about that, whether they wanted that 10 yards or not, because they really stopped the play cold. They gave Prairie another down, but pushed them back 10 yards.
Here's Reitzel, huge hole again off the left side. Meets Kinney, nice tackle. Reitzel not an easy guy to bring down one-on-one, and he gets out to the 30-yard line, so just about back to the original line of scrimmage.
Kind of a wash. Picks up 10, gets the penalty back, and then back to 2nd and 11, where they pretty much would have been if they had declined the penalty. But again, that left side proves to be very successful for Reitzel. Continue to do a great job blocking up front there and opening those big holes as he gets outside.
Well, really credit number 41, Robbie Kramer, the tight end. What a real nice kick-out block. Gave a huge hole to Reitzel. City High almost jumps. Reitzel again to that left side, and he's driven down to the turf. Alex Smith, good tackle in open field. With those holes markers so huge, the initial hit that Reitzel's able to pound away 4 to 6 yards every carry.
Well, that time Kramer pushed his man inside, and Reitzel just goes right outside. See that right there?
Little seal block on the inside.
Right. And stays on his feet, picks up a couple extra yards. 3rd and 5, and down to 20 seconds left in the quarter. What a great job Prairie's offense have been doing, managing the clock this quarter, and in fact putting 7 points on the board.
Reitzel again, he almost lost control of the football, gets thrown out of bounds at about the 44.
I think he's going to have the first down.
Plenty good for a first down.
And that'll 6 seconds left in the quarter, but again the left side.
Now here's a smart run. You look at Reitzel, he knows right where the first down marker is. Doesn't try to fight for that extra yardage. Just gets out of bounds and eludes another big hit by the defense, and C has been a workhorse the entire season. That's just knowing where the sticks are. And Prairie moves the chains again. Ball on the 43, another 1st and 10. Little flare pass to Glenn Fox. is tossed out of bounds at the 46.
It's kind of a different look. They've been running Reitzel, just clearing out that left side. Instead, they line up 2 wideouts there and get the ball to Fox. Not a big gain, but definitely shown a different wrinkle to these Little Hawk defenders.
Fox, a senior at 6'3". See 1.5 left to go in the first quarter. Prairie's attempted 2 passes so far tonight, and both just flare passes to the flat. Stumpf in motion.
Blitz by City High, picked up well. This time back inside.
And about 5 on the play.
Great quarter for Prairie, and they have absolutely handled these Little Hawks here on defending their home turf, and the win definitely a factor, but Prairie's defense handled City High, and Prairie's offense, Adam Reitzel. We'll be back.
Welcome back to John Wall Field. A crisp, clear night, Week 7, high school football game of the week. Rob Brooks, Mark Nolan. It's Prairie against City High. 4 versus 8. 4 has had the advantage through 12. And Prairie looks to go to the air. Cooper sends it out. Caught. Run out of bounds at the 35.
As soon as they get the wind, here comes the passing game, and Reitzel just absolutely carried Prairie on his back the whole first quarter, ate up the clock, and 14 carries for 94 yards, got the touchdown, and Prairie's defense is absolutely limited. City High now, they get the win, and Cooper just right out to a fairly wide open, delivers the pass, and all of a sudden City High's got to deal with the air game, and Prairie's got the win, and it is back in City High territory, threatening again, and now they jump.
Jake Stratton made that catch, his first of the night. 6'5", 222-pound tight end, and you mentioned Mark, Joe Cooper right on the numbers on the play action. Legal procedure against Prairie is the call, so that will shove the Hawks back 5 and put the ball on the 40.
A rare error there by Prairie. This is a very well-disciplined team. They execute very well. It's a solid squad, and that 6-0 record really reflects that.
First and 15. Good conversion by Little Hawks. Reitzel, maybe he gets a couple.
He's a little bigger than brother Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Six foot 175. He's bigger than that.
Adam goes at 5'10", 175, so a little more weight. Runs hard. 2nd and 13, gain of 2. Cooper off play action. There's plenty of time. There's nowhere to go. Throws it across the middle. Diving attempt at it by Jake Stratton. Just couldn't come up with it. Credit City High. Excellent defense downfield.
Plenty of time is right, though, Rob. That play action really developed well. And Reitzel had, had all the time in the world. Did Cooper, and just City High had everybody bottled up. He kind of forced that pass. It almost worked.
Little Hawks dropped a few more defenders there. Well covered, and brings up 3rd and 13. This drive started back at Prairie's own 31. Draw play. Reitzel, a ton of room. Gets to the 15, but her flag is down back at the 35.
I'm not sure there's not two separate penalties here. I think it might have had a hold, and then there's a hold on Prairie, so that'll. Okay. And no call on City High, so that will negate a great run by Reitzel. Wow. I don't think the hold had anything to do with the play either.
Well designed. The draw play worked. It would have been good enough for a first down, but as City High had on their last possession, now Prairie being hurt a little bit by their own mistakes.
We're back just call it the 44, but it's really the 45-yard line. And they've got to go 20 yards all the way down to the 25. They do have the win. I like how Prairie's opened it up here as soon as they got the wind, and that's what allowed that run by Reitzel to be effective, because the Prairie D-backs are back covering the receivers that they didn't even think about in the first quarter when Prairie was just running the ball.
3rd and 20. Cooper looks to go to the air, tries to set up the screen, does, and the ball is dropped by Glenn Fox. He had some running room in front of him, probably would not have gotten enough for a first down, but would have closed that gap, and maybe Prairie would have decided to go for it on 4th, but they don't have to worry about that. And Reitzel will come out to kick it away. John Wall Field, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm Rob Brooks along with Mark Nolan. Thanks for joining us on our Valley Game of the Week here. First time we've seen Prairie at home, as a touchback will be called, very close to saving that on the 1-yard line. The official said the ball broke the plane, and the Little Hawks will have it out at the 20-yard line.
There's that Jansa again, Paul Jansa tried to volleyball it, but they did call the touchback. What a booming punt by Reitzel, I think.
Well, you get that thing up in the wind, and it's going to take off on you.
It was above the lights, and he lost it. The Barry Bonds home run.
Hangs in the air a while. So DP Iman brings up the Little Hawks, trying to generate some offense against this very difficult Prairie defensive unit, and an incomplete pass intended for Ben Evans. Tried to hit the tight end, and Iman has yet to complete a pass tonight.
Prairie's done just an excellent job of keeping this explosive Little Hawk offense on the sidelines and off the field. We just haven't seen much of it. They haven't had a chance to get warmed up, and there's a completion finally.
And the ball is loose, and it belongs to Prairie.
Big play by the Prairie defense. It's Ben Reitzel falls on that loose ball.
Ben Evans made the catch. Or check that, make that. Alex Smith made the catch, tried to fight for first down yardage and just lost control of it, and the turnover gives it right back to.
Actually, that Reitzel that knocked the ball loose, Ben Reitzel, but it was Robbie Kramer, number 41, that came up with the loose ball. And here's Prairie right back at it, 30 inside the 35. What a turnover.
1st and 10 at the 32. Reitzel again up the middle, picks his way and gets outside and carries a couple of Little Hawks with him. A dominating run by Reitzel. 21 yards. You can churn that on first down, boy. Things are going your way.
You know, in the last possession where Prairie got the win and immediately went to the passing attack, set up that play. Because now they get the quick turnover, and immediately what's Craig Gellman do? Goes right back to his bread and butter, and Reitzel rips off 21 with the Prairie, or the City High D-backs on their heels, expecting Prairie to continue that passing game. So just excellent execution by the Prairie offense. Great play calling by Gellman.
Reitzel again. It's a couple inside the 5. Hovenkamp in on the stop. First man to hit him for the Little Hawks. But that's okay for Prairie. It's second down and 8. Ball spotted on the 9, so they can still get a first down without scoring a TD. Reitzel, huge hole, closes, and almost ripping the ball away from his Dorian Davis. He made the hit at about the 4-yard line and then tried to rip the ball away. Good job by Reitzel to hang on to it. There's a good look at Dorian Davis, is also the leading receiver for the Little Hawks. Right now needs to get a stop on defense. 3rd and 7. Cooper looks to the air, finds his receiver. Touchdown, Prairie.
Great call again. Boy, Craig Jones, just a masterful first half here. You expect Reitzel to get the ball on 2 straight carries and try and push it in. Instead, great play action fake to Reitzel and finds.
That's Drew Blahnik.
Perfect. Just a solid.
When you can run the football like that, Mark, boy, does that set up the play action as Reitzel pounds the extra point through. And just like that, with a flag on the field at the 10-yard line, we'll take a break and check that out. Be back to Prairie right after this. Kicker is called on the Little Hawks, so the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff here. So Prairie will boot it from City High territory at the 45. I wonder where this one is going.
Probably Shoeyville.
He hit the band that is positioned behind the uprights in the end zone.
And Prairie's ready to go, and again, City High very late to take the field. I don't get that, Rob. What's that all about? City High just looks like it got up on the wrong side of the bed today because they're not sharp at all. Prairie just absolutely dominated this first half.
There's the Prairie Hawk fans. Excited about the start here. Might be able to even put a shirt on after a while. To be young again, huh?
I don't know about that. Feels pretty good up in this press box. That is gone.
Right into the band. Yep. One of the band members made a spectacular catch down there.
Right in the tuba.
It's almost like a foul ball.
Prairie fans are having fun tonight. I hate to say they got the game well in hand. It's only 14-0 against a very explosive City High team, but
they haven't shown it tonight.
City hasn't shown anything tonight. Prairie's just got their number.
It's the same start the Little Hawks had against West. Davis goes in motion and then rolls out, looks his way, fires the ball downfield, and it's picked off. Threw into double coverage, and Glenn Fox comes up with it.
So City High's last 2 offensive plays have resulted in turnovers. Their first completion of the night resulted in a fumble. Their second completion of the night's to Fox of the wrong team.
Brent Jen was the intended receiver, and Hyman was going that way the entire time. Overthrew him a hair, but boy, 2 Prairie Hawk defenders right there, nowhere to put the ball.
Now, where's that play when they got the win? Instead, he forces it against the wind into very, very tight coverage, and what do you get? Interception. That's just a dumb play.
So Prairie gets it right back in Little Hawk territory at the 48.
Bingo.
Reitzel again. Gets to about the 33. Thought he was going to take it even further, but Phil Kinney made the stop. He'll move the chains again.
Prairie they just go right for the jugular. He ran into.
Glenn Fox was down there trying to throw a block and looked like Reitzel was kind of waiting for him. And then Kinney came in to make the stop. That play had another 10, 15 yards or maybe more. Like this one. Down to the 20. Reitzel meets John McCracken one-on-one. McCracken made the stop, but
paid for it.
Let him knew he was there.
It was a good tackle by McCracken, but when Reitzel met him, McCracken was jolted. And I think McCracken doesn't make that tackle. Reitzel's in the end zone.
But look at these holes up front.
Wow. Is that really in slow motion? Bingo.
1st and 10 on the 20. This time the fullback is Ben Reitzel. He'll gain about 3 and bring up 2nd and 7. Ben Reitzel gets a rare carry. But the ground attack has been superb for the Prairie Hawks. Coming off a shutout, Waterloo West last week. They defeated the Wallhawks 37-0. All right, so again, this is Adam, and maybe 4 out of the play, and the Little Hawks say he fumbled the ball. We'll see. No signal yet from the referee. Phil Kinney motioned that it should be Little Hawk ball. Prairie will probably hang on to it, and Reitzel comes out of the pocket. Davis, the stop.
All you've talked about is Adam Reitzel and how he's just run the ball right down the throat of these City High Little Hawks. But what about that offensive line for Prairie that's been opening those big holes? Jacob Hamilton at center, Brad Malatek at guard, Justin Hackman at another guard, Casey Mueller at tackle, and number 79, Brian Ilge at the other tackle. And what a job they've done here in this first half. And that's the strength of this Prairie team this year, is that experienced and dominant line play on both sides of the football.
That pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Somebody out the left side of the Little Hawk defense got their hand up on it. See if we get another look as to who it was, but that'll bring up 4th down and 5. And that'll bring the field goal unit on. Be a 32-yard attempt. Reitzel definitely has the leg. It's powered right through, no doubt about that one. So Prairie converts 3 points off the interception and goes up 17-0. 5 left to go in the first. Prairie gets set to kick it away. Mr. Everything, Adam Reitzel boots it. The ball is taken at the 5. This is Phil Kinney. And there's much room for there. Special teams do it again for Cedar Rapids Prairie.
Prairie Hawks, we talked about that outstanding play up front by the line, and they didn't get a touchdown on that drive, but Adam Reitzel now 22 carries, 154 yards. That puts him over 1,000 yards on the season, so the line's got to be very proud of their effort here, and a 1,000-yard rushing season for Reitzel, courtesy of a great offensive line play. So recognize that 1,000-yard season, even though they just got a field goal, 17-0, continue to just dominate this game.
And he hadn't done yet tonight, and there's 2 more, and then the playoffs to go. And And this play doesn't go anywhere for the Little Hawks. And on the tackle, Matt Musil.
At least they didn't turn it over. Hey, you know, this no huddle offense, absolutely no impact. I forgot they were even running it.
Well, and you know, give the credit to Prairie. I mean, that defense has been solid all season long. They're working on their second shutout in a row. Here's Kinney, tries the middle, nothing. Prairie right there waiting for it.
Andrew Matheny took care of Kenny, and 12 touchdowns on the season for Kenny. I think he's only had 3 carries tonight. Glenn Fox also in on the stop. Well, we saw City High play Xavier 3 weeks ago. They looked like world beaters, and they just almost picked off again, tipped. I don't know if this is fearless or that's just all kinds of coverage there.
And Iman was under severe pressure from the backside, and that brings up 4th and 5.
He just insists on throwing that ball into Prairie coverage into the wind, and they're forced to take a timeout on 4th and 5. And I think it's going to be pretty in the locker room at halftime. Do you, Ron?
Well, Dan Sabre's team has not gotten off to a great start, but I think the situation is that he's run into a team that's ranked 4th in the state, and they're showing why tonight. 3:30 left to go in the first half. I was looking up Adam Reitzel, Mark, as you mentioned, went over 1,000 yards, and going into week 7, Brennan McCarron of Dubuque-Wahlert already has 1,179. Travis Roan is at 957, so he'll probably go over 1,000 yards as well. And then Jamie Murphy of Dubuque Senior, who's quietly had an excellent season, is at 136 carries for 843. The backs in this league, from top to bottom, very, very good. One of the best years of depth at running back I can remember. This punt is going to take a Prairie bounce.
Wow, what a play.
And it is picked up, and it will be a Prairie Hawk touchdown. That's Paul Jansa again.
No flags? I mean, the ball was punted. Looked like it would probably go to about the Prairie 45. All of a sudden, the wind got a hold of it and blew it back, landed at about the 40, immediately bounced down inside the 30. Jansa just picks it up on the run. No City High coverage defenders anywhere in the area. What a gift.
And what a heads-up play.
This is just turning into a laugher here almost, Rob. I mean, this is hard to believe. There's no City High just standing around. Look, he picks it up and just, I'm gone. There's no City High, anybody in the picture.
I tell you
what,
what,
does that happen?
Well, the thing about it is the extra point goes right through, and we'll expand on this when we come back for the break, but that's just a play you're not going to see a high school kid make very often, and to pick that ball up and take it in for 6. A lot of times they just catch it and maybe fall down and be tentative with it. Jansa just picked it up in stride and took it right into the end zone.
You know, he bounces like right to him,
and City High actually does the right thing and probably staying away from it. Didn't want to tip it and then have Prairie pick it up, though it didn't work out for him, and even got a couple of great blocks there.
The only City High defender that even had a chance, it was even within 15 or 20 yards of Jansa, just got leveled by the Prairie blocker. And wow, they just this has got to be demoralizing.
No, he didn't touch it. As going up for the ball was Sean Hassini. Didn't touch it, right into the hands of number 34, Paul Jansa, the 5'10 senior. And has that kid been everywhere on special teams tonight?
It's, you know, it's rare, Rob, where you see a punt return where he receives the punt and the entire punt coverage team is behind him. There was nobody there to stop him. They had to catch him.
It shows you the playing conditions too, and a little bit of bad luck for the Little Hawks. Kinney moves out to about the 22-yard line. They got up to the 25, and the Little Hawks will start from there with 3:07 left to go in the first half to see if they can get some sort of offense going, get some momentum for themselves, and get on the board here late in the first half. There's Kinney and Davis as the Little Hawks will get set for the no-huddle look. Coming off a victory last week against Linmar at 28-21. Nowhere to go for Kinney, and that guy again. Paul Jansa makes the stop.
You having any fun here in the first half, Rob?
Well, only since the first play.
His mom's up here banging on the press box. Winnie wants a tape of this first half. She wants to get the tape of the game just as quick as she can. They're just going to play this over and over all weekend.
Well, who knows what he'll do in the second half? Might be better. Loss of 6 brings up 2nd and 16. Hyman has just had nowhere to go by way of the run or the pass. The Prairie defense, best I've seen all year so far. Kinney tries to pick his way for 2 and is brought down, hit first by Matt Trusky.
Yeah, but out of town for a couple weeks, Rob. And the last game I did was the Xavier City High game out at Xavier, and City High just absolutely just crushed Xavier. I thought, wow, they're just head and shoulders above the rest of this conference. I get back in town, I read the paper this morning. Oh, City High's got a loss. They got beat by West. How'd that happen? And Prairie 6-0. Wow. And this is just an entirely different City High team.
Like in a time zone.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they just can't do anything. It's not the same team I saw 3 weeks ago.
3rd and 12. Hyman to find Kinney. Nowhere to go. The open field tackle by Josh Sherrard. And boy, Prairie is right where they need to be on every single play.
Killer instinct, call a timeout. Let's get some more points on the board with a minute and a half left here, and City High's got to punt the ball into the wind. Great call, great timeout here.
We have to against a team that's averaging 33 points a game. But the thing about it is everything that Little Hawks have tried so far here in the first half, Prairie has been waiting.
And Prairie just came into this game just prepared. I mean, they have executed so well and just dominated this game. And City High just looks like not their night. But it's like they never practiced all week. Their execution's terrible. They had all kinds of penalties. It's just unbelievable. I'm just stupefied, Rob.
Now, Little Hawks talk things over. And Prairie, see what they can do with a minute 34, which is plenty of time. Try to get some more points and utilize this wind that they have at their back. They've been so successful here in opening the offense up a little bit, but it has still been the running game that has dominated for Craig Jelnick and the Prairie Hawks.
Minute 34 is plenty of time for Prairie. They just worked the clock in the first quarter, just wanted to run it out. Now they've had 3
Remember
scores.
what happened on the last punt?
You bet.
This time Hyman kicks it away. Smart move, and the ball will be down at the 47-yard line. Had to keep it low, line drive. It gets that thing up in the air, and it may go backwards on you.
They want to make sure that wasn't going to happen again. That was a good decision, and they got an excellent result out of it.
Good help.
But that last punt, that was unbelievable. That ball looked like it was, maybe going to go to the 40, and all of a sudden you see the wind just push it back, push it back, push it back. And I don't think we'll see him try that again tonight. So, minute and a half to go. What can the Hawks do?
Well, I know one guy they'd give it to. This time, too much pressure by City High. A flag comes out late. Cooper is dropped at the 38.
I think this is a face mask. I think this is going to be against City High.
Brian Fitch was one of the players that blew through there for the Little Hawks.
Very late flag. I don't. Although they're talking to City High, it might be a hold. It is a hold on Prairie, so it'll be the loss plus the penalty. Okay.
So the City High defense makes a big play. Pushes the ball all the way back to the 30.
Gee, the worst play they've run the whole first half, Rob. But look at the scoreboard, 24-zip. I guess can't be flawless every time.
Reitzel tries to pick his way through the left side. Gets 4. Good move defensively by Dorian Davis. Got in there to cut Reitzel's legs underneath him.
Well, with 1st and 27,
changes your thinking.
Craig Jelinek just says, okay, we'll just keep it on the ground. No turnovers.
Friday, Saturday, Thursday,
No, it's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
Second down and 23. And Joe Cooper will just kneel, and the first half is in the books. It's been all Prairie from John Wall Field, as the Hawks have done it with the offense, sticky defense, and the special teams step up as well. 24-0, Prairie. We'll be back. To Prairie, it's been all Hawks so far, as the 4th-ranked team in the state leads the Iowa City High Little Hawks 24-0. It's time now to take a look at our halftime highlights. And Prairie started things off early. A drive of 84 yards resulted in a 2-yard run by Adam Reitzel. And then the Little Hawks tried to get some offense going, but they coughed it up. And that turnover resulted in more points for Cedar Rapids Prairie. And here it is, off the play action, into the end zone, a touchdown. And this is probably the play of the first half, as Paul Jansa, Johnny on the spot, and special teams takes it in 34 yards out, and a touchdown. And that's where we stand right now. It's been all Prairie at 24-0. And as you look at the first half statistics, it's the defense that has really risen to the top, too, for the Hawks, as City High has just 1 first down and just has not been able to generate much offense. And it's been the running game for Prairie that has really done the job. 148 yards, and Adam Reitzel has gone over 1,000 yards for the year, as he has over 150 here tonight. Second half of football still to go. From Prairie, Mark Nolan, Rob Brooks, back in a moment. Welcome back to John Wall Field. It is Prairie 24 and the Little Hawks nothing, and Cedar Rapids Prairie will get the ball first. Couldn't make that the Little Hawks will get the ball first, so we'll see what they can do. Just a perfect first half. I'm Rob Brooks along with Mark Nolan. Thanks for joining us on our high school game of the week, week number 7. Prairie fans have a lot to cheer about tonight, have all season. I want to thank the Johnson County I-Club Board of Directors and their president, Jeff Duncan. Had the opportunity to go down to the Johnson County I-Club breakfast on Friday morning and introduce Coach Kirk Ferentz, and what a turnout they get down there. Had to be over 400 people. And it's something that's been known statewide. So, you know, there's a lot of City High fans amongst that group as well. So appreciate all their hospitality on Friday morning. Let's see if the Little Hawks can get something going. They do. This is Phil Kinney, gets into Prairie territory, and he could go. Kinney finally tripped up at the 10-yard line. Adam Reitzel dove and got him tripped up inside the 10, but there's some fire now from the Little Hawks. 88-yard return by Phil Kinney. Excellent wall blocking. And then Kinney and Reitzel just did a good job to stay with him to bring him down. Kinney dives right at the 3. So the ball actually will be spotted out of bounds at the 10. And this carry brings it to the 8. That is Kinney. So he's got to be a little bit tired after those 2 plays. The Little Hawks trying to get something going. Have a big play from Dan Saber's special teams to start the 3rd quarter. So give Kinney a gain of 3. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. As the Little Hawks trying to get on the board. Here's the pitch play. Davis throws a block, and Kinney is run down by Glenn Fox, but gets inside the 5. Maybe got to the 4. So a little life here at the beginning of the 3rd quarter for Iowa City High. Davis with the block up front, and he gets inside the 5. Good pursuit from behind by Glenn Fox. 3-year starter for Prairie. It brings up 3rd and 4. Imperative that the Little Hawks get into the end zone. Here's the pitch. Kinney will try the left side, then tries to scoot up the middle. They took a little time to develop. Kinney will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, as defensively Ben Reitzel was there for Prairie. So now that brings up 4th down.
I think Prairie's defense is fired up here.
The Little Hawks needing points.
Timeout. They're trying to get a timeout called. They do.
Matt Trowski signaled timeout, so Prairie will talk things over, as will City High. And Mark, exactly what City High needed was a big play. They get it on special teams. An 88-yard return by Phil Kinney. Almost got into the end zone, and then 3 plays, and City High finds themselves on the 5-yard line. So the Prairie defense has done the job against the run in the short yardage situation for the Little Hawks.
Another good timeout by Craig Jelinek for his defense. And City High has not come out of timeouts very well here. They just haven't executed. Next week here on Metro Football, out to Marion. West Delaware comes to town.
Marion been playing very well. So next Friday, our game of the week. We start to wind down the regular season. Marion and West Delaware. Up to Thomas Field.
On the road again.
Craig Jelinek trying to get his defense going.
Look at this spread. 3 receivers wide right, 2 wide left, and instead they go right up the middle. Good night.
Raymond cannot get there. He's buried at the 2, and Prairie keeps the shutout alive.
They try some trickery, but Prairie's defense is up to the task, and great timeout there. Stop the momentum the Little Hawks had. They chose to go to somewhat of an exotic, and Prairie stopped him, and still the schneid on the board. They got to be proud of that.
Well, I think too, Mark, that just really shows you the respect now that City High has for this Prairie defense, as Iman tried the quarterback draw that worked well at the very beginning of the game, but tried sweep right, sweep left, tried Kinney up the middle, and then tried to spread the defense and a running play, and it just shows you nothing has been able to work. But you have to first credit the Prairie defense. What an outstanding job they have done. It's been very difficult to move the football either by way of the run or the pass for the Little Hawks.
What they tried to do there was spread that Prairie defense out. 5 receivers, three right, 2 left. And they did, but Prairie's defenders just closed on Iman so quickly, and 5 guys right there to meet him at the 2. He never had a chance.
Ben Reitzel picks up 4. That brings up 2nd down and 6. You expect Prairie to keep it on the ground here. And this time Adam Reitzel finds a couple of tough yards off the right side. As Brent Jen was there for the Little Hawks, among others. The Little Hawks showing some fire here in the second half, just couldn't get the points on the board. Situation of being down 24-0 forced them to go for the touchdown. They do have an excellent field goal kicker. But 3 points at this juncture probably won't do you much. And now City High tries to stiffen, and they do. A big play up the middle. And Alex Berg, who had an outstanding game against Iowa City West, makes a big play there.
Super quick penetration by Alex Berg. That's the best play we've seen by a City High defender to get through this Prairie line. That's just been awesome all night.
And the key thing is it brings up 4th and 5. And City High should get very good field position here. As Reitzel kicks it away, and it's a beauty.
Oh, look at this.
City High lets it go, and look at the bounce.
Unbelievable.
Going to get.
That's going to be a 93-yard punt.
Wow.
And he was like right at the back of the end zone.
Flag, though.
Oh.
This one, I think, is going to come back.
Here's the kick. Great kick. Oh, it's going to be on City High running into the kicker. Oh, Prairie will get a first down out of this. They'll get to maintain possession.
They'll bring it back.
Right. Okay.
Thought at first they signaled the penalty on Prairie, but clearly running into the kicker, and it will be Prairie football now out at the 20-yard line.
No, it's a no record, but.
Okay, the line of scrimmage was a 4-yard line, so your kicker gets an 89-yard punt off, and it doesn't count. It won't hurt, won't be added to his average. It's the kick of his life. Oh, didn't count.
But you know what? That same guy has picked up a few yards tonight.
Right.
And has a chance to get some more.
I mean, could everything go Prairie's way?
He can worry about the punts later. Probably wants another carry. Yeah, he gets it. Reitzel around the end. Outruns a couple Little Hawks and is finally driven out of bounds, but not before. Picks up 13 yards and another first down before Brent Jen brought him down.
Bang, outside he goes. Turns on the jets, runs right by those 2 defenders, and a good open field tackle there. Last man that could have stopped Reitzel did a good job. Brent Jens.
So that brings the ball to the 33. It's another first down for Cedar Rapids Prairie. Reitzel again gets through line of scrimmage out to about the 37. But a real nice tackle there.
Nico Botembi closed on him. Well, big hole, but Botembi just wrapped his arms around him. And there, good close.
Shut it down. Yep. Good read. Gain of 4 brings up 2nd and 6. Little Hawks did a great job in forcing Prairie to punt, and then tried to make a big play on special teams. And that's the situation. You're down 24-0. You have to make something happen. Just didn't go the Little Hawks' way, as there's a flag down on the field as Reitzel gets well into Little Hawk territory. About the 45, but we'll have to sort the flag out at the line of scrimmage, and it will be a hold against Prairie.
Another great play by Reitzel that's going to be negated. He just did a great job on this run. He waited for the blockers. Looked like City High had him sealed off, and again the hold had no impact on the gain. But Reitzel just patient enough to wait, and then just worked his way through a lot of City High defenders, and he's just fun to watch.
Well, Dan Saber said he didn't think that Prairie had ever been the type of team that really comes out and everybody goes, wow, when they look at their offense, but really kind of a workmanlike team, fairly conservative offensively, do what they need to do. They play excellent defense, which they've done tonight, and really get after you. And that's kind of been what Craig Jelinek and the Prairie Hawks have done so far this year. They may not have a team that throws the ball over there, but I would say wow to this offense, just because the execution has been superior. But there, City High executes and keeps Reitzel to a gain of about a half a yard. In on the stop was Pat Griffin.
Prairie's only averaging a little over 140 yards a game rushing, so tonight's effort is just outstanding. They're very balanced. Or have been so far this season, but tonight the running attack has been, excuse me.
So on 3rd down, Reitzel is tackled by Davis, and Prairie again will have to punt.
Well, Rob, that stat was incorrect. They have averaged close to 200 yards a game rushing. I was looking at
I think Reitzel's over 170 by himself.
Right. And actually, that's the Prairie defense has only given up an average of 140 yards per game from the opponent. So, excuse me.
So 4th and 12. Reitzel gets another chance to get a leg in it, and look at this. It's fielded by Kinney. It's out to the 25. An excellent punt.
58-yarder in the air.
It's not 88 or whatever that one was before, but pretty darn good and effective.
All of a sudden, it's 4:36 left in the 3rd quarter. They used a lot of clock there, and City High knocking on the door trying to get back in the game right out of the locker room, and comes up empty-handed. And now they get the ball back, the first possession, or the second possession of the 3rd quarter, and only 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They got 16 minutes left in the game. They still trail by 4 scores. So it's getting kind of demoralizing on the City High sideline.
Well, we'll see what DP Hyman can do. He fires the ball, and it's good enough for a 1st down as he finds Brent Jen. That'll be his first catch tonight. And the Little Hawks will move the chains as the ball gets out to the 39.
That one pass was more than the entire passing yards in the whole first half. Just 7 yards passing for the Little Hawks in the first half. That one good for more than 10.
Hyman goes back, fires the ball across the middle, caught again. And this will move the chains after a gain of 13 as Ben Evans catches that one.
2 straight first downs, and all of a sudden the no huddle is clicking now into Prairie Hawk territory. That was thrown into good coverage, but right on the money.
Well, you kind of see a little sense of urgency here by City High. They go to the air again across the middle. This one is tipped and almost picked off as Spencer Stumpf had an opportunity as Hyman tried to force that one.
triple coverage. Indeed, he did force it. He's got a bullet, though. Look at this. Just rifles it.
That's right into the wind, too. Attended again for Ben Evans. But we have to take some chances at this juncture of the game with 4:04 left to go in the third.
Close to the vest doesn't get you much. They're going to have to open it up on every play.
Gives to Kinney. And a big hole for him. First down and much more inside the 40. Brought down by Glenn Fox, and from scrimmage, the best hole that Phil Kinney has had.
Limited to 2 yards rushing in the first half. Had that great return.
Yep. Yeah, the 88-yard kickoff return. But this is by far the best room with which to work that he's had. And the Little Hawks moved the chains again and look to go to the air, and this one is incomplete as Davis is the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down and 10, but a pretty good drive by the Little Hawks.
Well executed play action there, but Hyman just released the ball well before the pattern was even developed. The receiver still had his back to him when the ball hit the ground 10 yards behind him. So a little miscommunication there.
There you got to see the signals that Hyman gets from the sidelines. Check his playlist on his wrist. Hyman goes deep. And he's got an open receiver, but overthrows Brent Jen. And I thought there might be a little holding back there, and the flag has been thrown, so it will be pass interference on Prairie.
Very cheap.
He does throw a nice tight spiral, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's got a lot of ability.
And they call it a hold, not interference. And it'll go all the way inside the Prairie 20 down to, call it the 19.
Hyman has passed for 482 yards, 31 of 55 this season, 7 touchdowns. So there has definitely been some success. Looking to add to that total here. And this one is incomplete. Ben Evans was in the neighborhood.
May have been tipped. The ball just kind of fluttered. And nobody really close.
Third and 1. So that was on second down, a good opportunity to get the ball downfield, knowing that Little Hawks have 2 more plays to pick up 1 yard. Ball on the 19. Here's Kinney right up the middle. First down and more, gets to the 15.
Excellent blocking up front by the City High line. Kinney running hard and looks like the back we expected, but didn't see it all in the first half. Look at that hole.
And Reitzel there on the stop. Well, City High obviously did a good job adjusting. Moved the ball here in the third quarter. Kinney has some running room down to the 10, and that time no shotgun.
Great block by Dorian Davis to allow Kinney to cut back to the inside. Watch this block by Davis. Right there.
Davis with the lead block. Frees Kinney to the 10. Josh Sherrard with the stop. So gain of 5. Second and 5.
They've only used about 2 minutes on this drive, so give City High credit. They're playing like this game is not over. And
Kinney dives to about the 4. So they keep the drive alive, and that should move the chains, and it does.
Done a great job on this drive of mixing up the play calling. Really showed the diversity of this offense.
And now how critical was that for City High not to get into the end zone on that first possession after that kickoff return of 88 yards to the 4-yard line.
And now he's in trouble. And at first and goal from the 3, now it's second and goal from the 5. So excellent rush there by the Prairie Hawk up front defenders, and
Matt Trotsky in the neighborhood. Prairie defense digs in.
I think the no huddle's taking more time than the huddle would have here.
Here's Kinney, tries the inside of the Prairie defense, and maybe gets a yard. Wasn't much there.
Back to about the 3 or 4.
So that'll bring up 3rd down. Ben Reitzel in on the stop. Kinney darted inside, just wasn't much room there to run. Did a good job to get 1. So 3rd and goal.
Now this drive's all about pride for both teams. City High does not want to be denied. They don't want to be shut out tonight. They just move the ball right down the field, and now threatening Prairie's defense wants to preserve the shutout. Here's a bootleg, and he is not going to get there.
Hyman stopped at the 3-yard line. Well-designed play, but the Prairie defense read it. Spencer Stump with the stop. You talk about pride for the Prairie Hawks. Mark, as we get another look at this, they're going for their 2nd straight shutout in as many weeks.
They just sealed him off. Excellent job by Prairie.
Ben Reitzel came in to help out as well, and that brings up 4th down. And Prairie again takes time out, as they did in this situation before. So the Little Hawk offense, as you get a look at Craig Jelenic and his defensive troops ready. City High offense that has averaged 33 points a game and given up only 14 has run into a Prairie Hawk team that everything has gone their way so far, and now City High desperately trying to get some points on the board here in the very late stages of the 3rd quarter.
It's really been a fun game, Rob. Quite a show out here. Beautiful press box at Prairie, and coldest night of the year, and we're in here heated. They even
you weren't here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty cold.
Here?
No, down in Iowa City.
Right.
There you get a look of our booth high atop here at John Wall Field.
They even feed you pizza at halftime here. This is a great place to do a game. I mean, this is.
Well, I knew that'd pump you up.
High styling here. Big play here for the City High team, and
Kinney tries to fight his way toward the goal line. He gets very close, but he's going to be just inches shy.
What a stand by Prairie.
Well, the Little Hawks threw about everything they could at Prairie, but again, credit that Prairie defense with the stop.
Of course, would you have expected anything else tonight, Rob? I mean, just everything's gone Prairie's way.
And now this is a great place to have a very good running game, which the Prairie Hawks possess. 15 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Little Hawks 2 opportunities inside the 5-yard line, but denied by Prairie. And now as Cooper stuck behind the goal line, I think they're going to give his forward progress just outside the goal line, as the Little Hawks were right there to drive Cooper back. So you see where the ball is spotted as time expires in the third.
And it is the third quarter.
Have it here.
Second down and 10 for Prairie. And the whistles blow and the flags fly. So we'll see what the call is here. Been some movement across the front. If it's against Prairie, they can't move it very far because it's right on the goal line. And it's going to be a little procedure against Prairie. This will be moved maybe an inch. And now the offensive line is in the end zone. And nowhere to go, but Prairie dives forward for a yard. The Reitzel just kind of forward momentum got him to the one.
They just don't want to make any mistakes here. They don't want any fumbles. You got the game well in hand. They just keep the ball on the ground. They're going to get the victory. That's just, again, good coaching, fundamental. Boy, Craig Jones just done a tremendous job with his team this season. I'm impressed.
Well, one thing last year, he kind of went ahead and played a lot of juniors. And the year before that, some sophomores, kind of building toward this. Prairie ended up 4-5 last year, knowing that this could be an excellent team, and it's panned out for sure. Reitzel out of trouble to the 11, and that should move the chains.
How about that Prairie offensive line? They just burrowed out of that end zone, and then they get just a little room, and they just open a huge hole for Reitz, who explodes for a first down and gets them out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
And that's a big play there.
You bet.
Because now, even if you have to punt it, you have some room.
And it keeps the clock running.
I don't think you see the ball in the air, that's for sure.
Well, they had 27 yards passing in the first half, and for the game now they have 27 yards passing.
Reitzel with a lead block.
Look at it.
Keeps going out to the 27. Boy, does he run hard. And credit the blocking of Ben Reitzel, too, to free him up. Hassani in on the stop, but not until Adam Reitzel picks up 16 yards and another first down.
Last two carries, 26 yards. That puts him over 200 for the game.
There he is. He stopped after maybe a gain of 7. Carries a couple of tacklers with him.
Give City High's offense credit. They had 2 yards rushing in the first half. They had 52 in the third quarter.
Played much better.
Right. 6 yards passing in the first half, 38 yards passing in the third quarter, but still 0 on the scoreboard.
Just couldn't score inside the 5. Davis in on the stop. It's Reitzel. Those two have met a few times tonight.
And if you'd have told me before this game that after 3 quarters, Prairie would have limited City High to 90 yards of total offense and absolutely no scoring at it, I wouldn't have believed it.
I do think you'll see Little Hawks in the playoffs. Prairie will be in with a win tonight. Lonick. It's about 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Well, the one thing about the Little Hawks. They were very concerned about Prairie's ground game coming into this contest, and they knew how hard Reitzel ran, knew he was one of the top backs in the conference, averaging close to 170 yards per game. And then the fact that West High exploited City's rush defense to the tune of 243 yards, and Linmar last week ran for 300. So a running team, as the Prairie Hawks are, that kind of fits right into success for Prairie.
There's a first big gaffe by the Hawks that Cooper kind of loses the handle here, and that ball up for grabs on the ground, but Cooper wisely just falls on it, smothers it, protects it, just puts Prairie in a punting situation, and no damage done. Cooper's played a great game too, just absolutely magnificently directed this team.
Real solid.
Yep.
And the pick is taken by Evans. And he's brought down at the 46, and a flag comes out.
Give Reitzel credit on that punt. I mean, that's a 43-yard punt into that wind. That's outstanding.
It sounds like he was a whole lot he can't do. Field goals, extra points, punts, a lot of running. There's nowhere to go here for Ben Evans. But a 5-yard face mask will benefit City High and bring the ball out to the 42. Be 1st and 10 with just under 8 left to play. See if the Little Hawks can get on the board here. They've been able to move the ball in the second half. And Kinney catches a pass, and he'll gain about 8 yards to the 35.
He was stopped there by number 6, Spencer.
Pinpoint pass there, right on the money.
So we'll officially give him 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. I think Hyman's had a little more time to work the football around, going to a little shorter drop there, and it is caught, and big time yardage, and City High into the end zone, 34 yards. Ben Evans takes it from D.P. Hyman, and the Little Hawks are on the board.
There goes the shutout. It was a missed tackle.
But a real nice play by Evans. Caught the ball, circled on the inside. Good move for 6 points.
There's that City High passing attack we haven't seen. And they can strike like lightning. Finally due to get on the scoreboard. That'll salve the wound. I just think with 7 minutes left, I don't see how they get back in the game. But again, the second half all about pride for the Little Hawks.
Extra point is good. Andrew Shutt, the best kickers in the conference, put it through. Still Prairie up 24-7. Rob Brooks and Mark Nolan back at Prairie. Here's the Little Hawk kick, and it dives into the end zone. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Prairie, so we'll see the ground attack again for the Hawks. Trying to grind this one out with 7:09 left. City High really needs to win only one more game to win the division, because it does hold the tiebreaker over Linmar. Also Xavier and Hempstead. And City High will take on Waterloo East and then Washington to end the year. So if they can beat a Waterloo East team that hasn't won a game this year, that would put City High atop the Mississippi Division and get them into the playoffs. Reitzel rounds out about 4 yards.
Now that other division that Prairie is in. Whole different story. I mean, what a dogfight there. You know, Prairie are 4th in the state, yet just tied for the lead with an excellent Cedar Falls team that's also undefeated.
And Prairie and Cedar Falls will play in week 9 up at the Unidome. And Wallert's kind of fallen on some hard times here after an excellent start. But look out for Iowa City West. Still trying to make a playoff charge. Wouldn't surprise anybody if they get in. As Prairie tries to stay in bounds, they do. Reitzel pounds out a couple more yards. He's brought down by Ben Evans.
Up in there by Ben Evans. And Ryan Albert.
That brings up 3rd and 1. That's exactly what Craig Jelinek wanted to have.
Fun to watch. Great camera work there.
It really shows you too, Mark, when you do things well on special teams and you create turnovers, just good things happen to you, and that's a lot of times what makes the difference. All levels of football. When you have good special teams win the turnover battle, you're a team that's going to go a long way.
Blahnik gets the call there on 3rd and short, but City High tosses him for a loss and puts Prairie back in a punting situation.
So the Little Hawks will get the ball, as Prairie will try to take as much time as they can to punt this one away on 4th and 4. You can hear from the sidelines when Prairie was to snap the ball. It takes another Prairie bounce. Little Hawks wisely stay away from this one, and it gets to the 37-yard line, so mission accomplished. 36 yards on the kick.
No return. Wind has not been a factor for Prairie tonight. They've just masterful tonight.
West Delaware and Marion, our game of the week here on Mediacom Connections next week. Hyman goes to the air and in and out of the hands as Ben Evans could not hang on to it. Hyman laid that one in there nicely. Pass protection has been much better here in the second half for the Little Hawks. Just seemed to get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Much better execution.
Had the ball inside the 5-yard line twice in the 3rd quarter, could not score. And here is almost a spectacular catch by Ben Evans, just couldn't quite hold on, and it will bring up 3rd and 10. He's found a seam against the zone and couldn't quite come up with it.
It's a tough ball to catch. He just fires it so hard.
Prairie laying back a little bit, dropping all 3 linebackers as the ball is caught at midfield. Nice route by Brent Jen. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. And it will move the chains for the Little Hawks.
The last 2 passes pretty much right on the money. Again to Jen now, and he does catch it.
Matheny in on the stop. Hyman going to the air again. And this is complete. It'll be gain of 12. As Matt Maynard made the catch, his first of the night. And again, the chains are moved. The ball to the 38. Maynard picks up his first reception. The Hawks working out of the shotgun. Swings the ball out and in and out of the hands of Ryan Bohm. He couldn't hang on to it and brings up 2nd down and 10. Watch those linebackers, Mark, in the Prairie defense. They're just dropping back into pass coverage. Just kind of keeping the Little Hawks away from the big play. It's giving Hyman a little bit more time, but you can see that the precise routes run by City High, there's always a Prairie player right next to him to bring him down. So there hasn't been any yards after the catch so far. This ball is tipped and picked off. That is Glenn Fox. Still on the move and out of bounds near midfield.
Well, they didn't get the shutout, but another turnover by City High, another interception. And you can't expect that. They're very sharp on the drive, but the ball tipped.
Robbie Kramer looked like he got his hands on it. And Fox right there playing center field. A 28-yard return before he is pushed out of bounds.
Breaks a couple tackles.
There is a flag on the play, though, so we'll have to see if this will hold up or if it was on the return and just push Prairie back. That's what it's going to be.
Prairie maintains a possession, just not with the great field position. So they'll be at their own 26 instead of near midfield.
So now Prairie, with this win, will tie Cedar Falls for the lead in the Valley Division. Both teams at 7-0. Cedar Falls defeated Dubuque Wahlert at the Unidome Thursday night at 23-7. Reitzel pounds out a couple of yards. So Adam will be able to add to his total. Gonna wait and see what happens. I don't know how many yards McCarron had up at the Unidome. And Travis Roan is a little over 100 yards ahead of Adam coming into tonight's action. And then Jamie Murphy of Dubuque Senior right behind Reitzel. And Taylor Brookins of Cedar Falls also in that mix. And then don't forget Alex Canellis of Iowa City West, who we've seen run up and down the field in the 2 games here that we've done with the Trojans on Mediacom. And don't worry, he'll add to his total in the next 3 weeks as well.
Reitzel now 36 carries on the game, 227 yards rushing.
So he is the second running back in the conference to go over 1,000. Travis Roan surely would tonight as well. Only needed 63 yards to do so. Reitzel again. Some dirt flies and he gets a couple.
And now we got a very late flag. Let's go get his place, Mike. On Prairie.
So that'll push the Hawks back. Last thing Craig Jelinek wanted to see, just because of the stoppage of the clock. So that brings the ball all the way back to the 17.
Still a lot of emotion on that field, particularly in their line. They still continue to fight it out here. They just didn't quit with the whistle blew.
So now 4th and 19. Craig Jelinek actually going to signal in when to snap the ball from the sidelines to use as much time as he can. And there it is, and Reitzel gets a good leg into it. This time it is fielded And a 5-yard gain for Ryan Bohm before he is brought down.
7 yards by.
So the ball will be at the Prairie 40. And the Hawks will be happy to move to 7-0. As Iowa City High will fall to 5-2. And still will have at least a 1-game lead on the Linn-Mar Lions, the Hempstead Mustangs of Dubuque, and Xavier. Ball is caught. It'll be good enough for a first down. Who's making the catch for the Little Hawks is Maynard. That's his second reception tonight. Give him a gain of 13, and the Little Hawks back to the air. This one is incomplete at the 10, as that was intended for Kyle Bowlesby. Seeing some action tonight. 6'2" junior, whiteout defensive back. Dad's a pretty important guy. Son of Bob Bowlesby.
Is he junior?
Yeah. And the Prairie Hawks take timeout with 1:28 left to go.
Have it here or have it there.
And a big Prairie defensive move there. That is Adam Reitzel. And City High now takes timeout with 1:19 left to go.
And Paul Ianza, 34. We've called his number a few times.
That's right.
Have to ask him about that punt return for a touchdown.
He's done it defensively and special team wise, no question about that.
That was a great play.
You'd put that on the season highlight reel, no question.
Be on the Sunday Funnies, I'd have to say. Maybe nationwide. Get that sent into ESPN first thing in the morning so they get it on this weekend. Will you, Rob?
I sure will.
You have time between covering the Iowa game tomorrow?
No. We'll let you handle that, can you?
See what I can do.
3rd and 16 after the Little Hawk timeout. Hyman goes deep and into the hands of Brent Shen, and the Little Hawks get on the board late. So that time the Little Hawks take a timeout and make it work.
This won't look, 24-14 in the paper tomorrow. It won't look as bad as it really was.
I'll tell you what, Mark, though, you go back to the 2 times
opportunities
that City High had the ball inside the 5 early in the 3rd quarter. As the extra point is right through.
Could very well be.
That. Yeah.
Could be 28-24 right now.
I mean, the first half definitely to Prairie's advantage. City High's building for the last couple of weeks. We'll be back. There you see the Little Hawks setting up for the onside kick. Be right next to the 40. Get a tight shot of that football there. He's actually going to kick it right on the laces. Andrew Shutt, junior kicker, goes the required 10 yards, and Prairie covers it. There's that guy again, Paul Jansen. Boy, is he everywhere or what? Can't miss him.
A magnet for the football tonight. He's had a well of a game. Smart play, just covered it up.
Good hands. Yep.
This Prairie defense pitches a shutout for 41 minutes. It's 24-0. Good scoreboard now. It's 24-14, and 2 quick 34, 33-yard touchdown passes from Hyman. Again, Robbie, go back to those 2 goal line stands by the Prairie defense, and boy, how important are they?
Yeah. I mean, you can never predict exactly what's going to happen, but when City High came out and Kinney took that opening kickoff 88 yards inside the 5-yard line as the Prairie training staff is attending to a player down there at about the 40-yard line. But that was a key defensive stand 2 times by the Prairie Hawks.
Josh Sherrard, the injured Prairie player that slowly being helped off the field.
Really favoring that right leg.
We talk about this City High comeback, but clearly the performance of the Prairie defense by shutting out City High for 41 minutes dictated the play selection and allowed Paul Jones to play close to the vest. And yeah, there's a minute 12 left. I mean, it'd have to be a miracle.
Well, Prairie's was a better team tonight.
Absolutely.
These two might meet again.
Not even close.
You never know in a couple of weeks what'll happen when the playoff pairings are announced. 1st and 10 for the Prairie Hawks. Reitzel tries to stay on his feet and then just hog time thrown to the ground by Alex Bird.
Picks up a couple of yards on the play. There by number 55, Alex Bird.
Timeout has been taken by the Little Hawks. They took it a little bit earlier, and then some time ran off the clock down to 54 seconds. So just about what we expected from the Prairie Hawks tonight is what we got. Ball control, tough defense, win with special teams. Little Hawks just got off to kind of a slow start. More due than anything to the Prairie defensive effort and the long time that they spent running the football, keeping the Little Hawk offense off the field, and then the big special teams play. And that is what really propelled the Prairie Hawks to their 7th victory here tonight.
Do they deserve to be ranked 4th in the state? You bet. Excellent performance.
Or is what I've seen in the eastern part of the state.
Adam Reitzel, 38 carries, 230 yards rushing.
And Prairie was not even in the top 10 until they went 3-0. City High does have one more timeout, so we'll see if they will use it after this play or just let the clock run out. Reitzel again right up the middle for Bears. Cedar Rapids Prairie goes to 7-0 in a 24-21 victory over the Little Hawks of Iowa City, who fall to 5-2. Let's take a look at our second half highlights. And the Little Hawks came out all guns a-blazing as Phil Kinney takes the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter, racing down the sidelines, 88 yards, just tripped up by Reitzel. But Little Hawks came away with nothing. But they went to the air, and this time it does work. A 33-yard pass, Iman to Brent Jen, and that made it 24-14. And then Prairie creates a turnover. There's Glenn Fox on the move. He returned that 15 yards. But Little Hawks not done. They go deep. 56-yard pass. Iman finds Brent Jen again. And that made it 24-21 with just 39 seconds left to go. Little Hawks tried an onside kick, which Prairie covered very nicely, and that's where it ended. So Prairie did not score in the second half after leading at the half 24-0. Adam Reitzel, huge night. 40 carries, 241 yards. They did it on the ground with defense, special teams. Let's head down on the field, join Mark Nolan and head coach Craig Jelinek.
with Coach Craig Jelinek after a 24-21 victory over Iowa City High to go 7-0 on the season. And 7 minutes left in the game. It's 24-zip. Absolutely just dominated this game. And all of a sudden you look up and they're trying an onside kick. They're down by 3. But really, you had this game totally in hand. Tell us about it.
Well, we felt good early in the game. But again, when you play City High, you're not just playing the City High team in 2004. You're playing that tradition. And that tradition isn't going to give up. And, of course, we let it get kind of interesting there at the end. They got us on our heels. And I was real proud of the kids. Boy, they hung in there, and we took on 2 onside kicks from them. Wish we could have got that first down and not given that ball back to them. But, boy, real proud of the kids. All the schedule, there's not a team in the state that would want our schedule. And these kids have come out of it undefeated so far.
If I'd have told you the first week of the season that you would have held City High to 90 yards of total offense and no points after 3 quarters, would be 7-0 on the season, what would your reaction have been?
Well, I would want to know what you were drinking, but obviously it worked out that way, and I was real, like I said, I'm just so proud of the kids and the program. We've had change in our coaching staff. We got a new coach up with us, and Rick Anderson did a great job. Jim Dossel, Mike Trotsky defensively, as always, and I'm just real proud of the program. The sophomores won, the freshmen are still undefeated, so we're sitting here now at 21-0 this year, so it's been a great year so far.
Coach Greg Jelinek, you got a great program out here. It's really come to fruition this season, and you just have a wonderful, wonderful history that you've established here at Prairie. A great game to be on TV tonight. I love the fireworks. Just congratulations on a super season. You got to really be happy.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now let's talk to the players. Adam Reitzel, just 16 yards shy of a Prairie single-game rushing record, 40 carries, 241 yards, and that the game you just had it in hand, and what were you thinking there when they were trying that onside kick, and it's 24-21 and 30 seconds left in the game?
I was a little nervous, and I just knew if we got the ball and we held them and we drove a little bit, got a couple first downs, we would end the game there. But it didn't turn out that way.
Well, Prairie had a lot of fun until that last 30 seconds. Had to be a really fun game to play, though. And did you think you could handle the Hawks that long, this well, when coming into the game? You really were well prepared.
Oh, no doubt. During practice and that, we work real hard on. Our scout team actually plays as City High, and I think that helps out real well for our defense and offense.
Well, over 1,000 yards rushing tonight for Adam Reitzel. Great game, and 7-0, having a great time here in Cedar Rapids, and a terrific season.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's talk to Paul Jansen. You're the guy that had the most fun tonight. You seemed like you were at the ball, around the ball, a lot of key plays. And how about that punt return? Just tell us about that a little bit.
Well, I think I kind of surprised myself. Just took an awkward bounce back and noticed City High was past the ball and picked it up and turned around, and everybody looked so stunned. I was just hoping somebody was going to block for me. Everybody staring at me like they didn't know what I was doing. So.
Never seen a punt return where the no defenders in front of the punt return. Ought to be on the Sunday bloopers. But seriously now, 7-0, excellent effort. And just talk about the solid play. This is just a solid team, nothing flashy, and really has come together this season.
Yeah, defense has been stepping up. Adam's been running all over the place, and just defense and special teams even have been stepping up like tonight, and then defense stopped them twice on goal line. So coming together, coming off some injuries, and we're finally almost full health.
7-0 and beat both the Iowa City teams, tied for first place, 4th in the state. Life is good at Prairie. They beat City High tonight, 24-21. For Rob Brooks, I'm Mark Nolan. Tune in again next week for more Metro football here on Mediacom.